What are Viking funeral rituals? Have you ever wondered how ancient cultures honored their dead? Viking funeral rituals provide a fascinating glimpse into their beliefs and practices surrounding death. These rituals were not just about saying goodbye. They were deeply spiritual events that connected the living with the afterlife. At the heart of Viking funerals was the belief that death was a transition to another realm. The Norse people thought there were different afterlife destinations, like Valhalla for warriors and Hell for others. Funerals were community gatherings meant to help the deceased safely reach the next world while keeping their memory alive among the living. Preparation for a Viking funeral was both practical and symbolic. The body was washed and dressed in fine clothes, sometimes even newly made for the occasion. This act represented purification and readiness for the journey ahead. Personal items, known as grave goods, were placed with the deceased. These could include weapons, jewelry, tools, or even miniature models of ships or houses. Each item had its own spiritual meaning, providing protection or status in the afterlife. Music played a vital role in these ceremonies. During the wake, songs and chants were performed while stories of the deceased were shared. This music was not just for entertainment. It was believed to calm the spirit of the dead and ease their passage. Instruments like drums and lyres were likely used, although exact details are scarce due to limited archaeological findings. The combination of music, poetry, and storytelling created an atmosphere that was both solemn and celebratory. It honored the individual's life while helping the community process their loss and reaffirm shared beliefs. Two distinctive practices were cremation and ship burial. In cremation, the body was burned on a pyre, with the smoke believed to carry the soul upward. Ship burials, often reserved for the elite, involved placing the deceased in a boat, either real or represented by stones. Both practices were rich in symbolism, with music and chanting accompanying the flames or the launching of the ship. From a spiritual music perspective, Viking funeral rituals illustrate how sound and song were woven into death rites. Music served as a bridge between the living and the spiritual world, helping participants feel closer to the gods or the spirit of the departed. While we do not have detailed records of specific Viking funeral songs, the importance of music is evident from descriptions of wakes and the role of skalds, who were poet-musicians in Norse society. These traditions suggest that music was a central element in the spiritual work of saying farewell. For those interested in the historical significance of music in spirituality, Viking funerals offer a clear example of how ancient cultures used music to mark life's great transitions. Modern reconstructions or historical reenactments might include period-appropriate instruments and chants to evoke the original spiritual atmosphere. Viking funeral rituals were deeply spiritual events where music and ceremony guided the dead, comforted the living, and affirmed community bonds. The role of music was both practical and symbolic, helping to transform grief into a shared, sacred experience.